Hello there, Carstairs here. Today I want to show you this Bakelite torch that I got off eBay, and I thought I'd do a bit of a restoration on it. The seller didn't say much about it on eBay when he put it on, and I saw it quite late in the listing, so I thought I'd take a bit of a punt at it. It was £6 plus a couple of pounds postage. I have been well and truly ripped off because it needs a shed load of work. I did originally see that this was off here, but that's the least of its problems. But it is quite a nice little torch, I would think, sort of 1930s. It's got a glass bullseye lens there and solid Bakelite. And if you just have a look inside, there we are. Comes off, that's a little ring there, and you've got metal lamp holder, bulb destroyed, but that's not a problem to fix. So there we go with that. And unfortunately there is, as you can see, a bit of damage just there. Probably the seller didn't even know about that, probably just you know, found it, put it on eBay, whatever. But as I say, that was apparent on the photograph. I mean, that's not really an issue to fix, I don't think. But what is more of a problem is, oh dear, that is what's left of the spring for the batteries at the bottom. As you can see, it's pretty badly corroded, so let's just have a look at this. Ew. Screwdriver. There we are. Yeah, and that sits in there, and so that is a problem, but not an insurmountable one. But what is more of a problem is if we look inside, you can see that you've got the conductor in there, which half of it, well, more than half of it is missing. You can, I don't know if you can, there's a line in there that shows where the conductor would have run, and there's a rivet there, and if you just look inside you can see what's left of the conductor there. Yeah, so that, I don't think it's impossible to repair that, but I don't think it's going to be a simple job. But I'm going to give it a go and try and restore this torch and get it working. Now this is a feasible job because it uses modern batteries. It uses 3 of these D-type cells, which is good because a lot of vintage torches use obsolete batteries. You just can't get them anymore. But this one, no problem. 3 D-cell batteries. There we go. Making 4.5 volts. It does use a 3.5 volt bulb, but I guess that's not a problem for it. So what I propose to do is strip it down. I'm going to get rid of the rivets there and there, see what's under there, see what's needed to run a new conductor up there, a piece of brass or something. Clean all this up, try and obtain a new spring for it. You can see, try and get what's left of the one in there out, yeah, just try and get it running and to a usable torch. So what I've got to do now is remove these rivets, so I can get this switch off and I can get the remains of the conductor off there. Now what I'm going to try and do is just bend just want to try and destroy the top of that rivet. Don't want to slip and stab myself in the process, which is why I'm doing it really carefully. Okay. Is that enough to... No. Starting to go there, it's starting to come off. Problems. There we go. Should. There we go. So now I can have a look in there, and yeah, what you've got is you push that and hold it down, the torch comes on, and then push that forward to make it latching. Now what it looks like is this acts as one of the contacts. If you the conductor went up there, and then obviously it was riveted to there, and then the way that it made the contact, made the torch come on, complete the circuit, was to push that down, and that contacted with that piece of metal which is connected to the other conductor inside, and that made it work. Right, so what we need to do is just get this other rivet off. I could try drilling it out. This problem is Bakelite is so fragile. You little hair, but there. Now, what was I saying about Bakelite being fragile? I've just taken a bit off. Fortunately, I think I've got away with it. Hardly ideal. But anyway, our rivet's off. So, God, there's that one to get off as well. That one, if we're lucky, might just, because the head's already been squashed, might just there we go. Fine. Now, what I think I can use to repair the conductor is, or to replace the conductor, is this piece of brass. If I cut a strip off, it's pretty thin, so should be able to use that to run a new conductor. So what I'm going to do is just cut this with the scissors. Just have a look how thick the other one is. It's about 4mm, something like that. And I can cut this just with scissors. Okay. Let's have a look. So it needs to go from there. Yeah. Right. I can just drill a hole through that. Okay, so I've drilled a hole in it. So now I need to drill the other hole. I'm just going to get that drill bit, slot it in there, so that, okay, with that roughly where it should be, I can then just mark there. Okay, so now I'm going to make the rivets. I've got my hole drilled there. What I'm going to use is this 2.5mm brass tube, which I'm going to cut off and make into the rivets. So I'm just going to split the top of this. Bend it out now. Okay. Now I'm going to have to weld this on to the conductor, but I'm going to weld it just at the edge of these tabs. So I'm just going to rough this up, give it a key, and also on this side, any solder that flows through the other side. Similarly, first. Now I don't want solder flowing down the centre of that hole because it will just fill the tube and I won't be able to use it as a rivet. So what I'm going to do is just try and solder those tabs that I flattened out. That's it, get the solder flowing. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's dry. Okay, yep, that's fine. The problem with these is these are just shy of 2.5mm, so just won't go through. So I'm just gonna open it out just a little bit. Okay, so I've filed all 3 holes out. I'm just going to test fit. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So now what I need to do is make these rivets. I need to squash down these rivets to hold the conductor firm in there and put the switch back on. So obviously I need something to push against as I hit the rivets. So I've got this bar held between these 2 vices, and hopefully that will be enough that I can squash down the rivets and hold the conductor in there firmly. Right. Now then, what I think I'm going to try and do is use a drill bit to squash out. It's not looking too bad. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. Good. The hardest part is obviously keeping it on the bar. What I don't want is for it to come off and me be putting any pressure at all on the Bakelite, because it will just smash. So I could do with a bigger bar really, but I ain't got one. Yeah, that's worked out a lot better than the other one, I think. Yeah, it's on there pretty good. So now what I've done for the other rivet, the other side of the switch, is just done the same, but just sort of welded it onto a little sheet of brass, square of brass there. So just put that in. Okay, so the rivets are in, and just check that the batteries still fit after putting the conductor in there. Yep, it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is turn to the base bit. I need to get the remains of the spring out of there. I have obtained another spring which I got from a donor torch, so I'm going to have to fish that out of there. I can lift up these tabs now. That's it. So now I've got to get this into there. Try and feed in this around into those tabs. See why it's not wanting to go in there. So after a bit of messing about, I've got the spring fully into this bottom part here, so that's fine. And I've adjusted this conductor, I've trimmed it off so that when the bottom goes in, it makes contact with the spring holder, and it should hopefully now work. So what I've got to do now is get the remnants of that bulb out of there, and for that I'm just gonna it's quite tight in there. Okay, so I can put a new bulb in there, but what I'm going to do now is clean everything up. I've cleaned everything up and it's come out quite well. Got all the crud off the switch and it's come out nice brass. Rivets have all cleaned up, and I've also cleaned the reflector. I just used some Silvo in there, and again Silvo on there with a toothbrush, and then just polished up the Bakelite. So now all that's left to do is put it back together. Got my new bulb, which is a devil to get in. Okay, there we go. Right, well, let's see if it works. There we go. Yeah, not exactly fantastic, but you know, it is quite an early torch. So yeah, closer you get, the better the light, but yeah, nice little retro item. Thanks for watching.